Hey everyone. Okay, so Virgo, let's talk about what actually constitutes meaningful insight versus what's just performance designed to keep you watching. Drama doesn't equal accuracy. Someone having strong emotional reaction to their own reading doesn't make the reading more valid. Someone claiming to be shocked by what they're seeing doesn't mean they're seeing anything unusual at all. It's performance. It's theater. It's creating emotional contagion so you feel like something significant is happening even when the actual content is mundane. Because here's how this works: the reader expresses shock, surprise, disbelief at what they're supposedly seeing about you. That emotional display primes you to interpret whatever comes next as extraordinary, makes you receptive, makes you less critical, makes you assign significance to information that might otherwise seem ordinary. It's technique and it's effective, which is why so many readers use it. But effectiveness at creating engagement doesn't equal effectiveness at providing genuine insight. Can you separate theatrical delivery from actual content value? Develop that filter if you haven't. Because here's what you will be floored actually means: it's prediction about your reaction, not statement about content quality. It's telling you how you're supposed to feel rather than letting content speak for itself. And that telling, it's manipulative. Because if the information was genuinely floor you worthy, it would do that on its own merit. It wouldn't need advanced framing about how shocked you should be. Real insight lands without announcement. It hits because it's accurate, specific, relevant, not because someone told you it would be shocking. So when readers front load their content with emotional warnings, when they tell you you'll be floored or shocked or unable to believe what they're about to share, they're compensating. They're using dramatic framing to create impact that the content itself might not generate. And you're being set up, being primed to have the reaction they've told you you'll have, regardless of whether the content actually warrants it. Are you having genuine reactions or performing the reactions you've been told to have? Check your actual response versus your conditioned response, because I need to talk about what stomach dropped suggests. It's visceral language, physical language, language designed to make you feel like the reader is experiencing something so powerful it's affecting them somatically. But here's the thing: professional readers do this all day. They're not having authentic stomach dropping reactions to every reading. They're performing reactions that create desired emotional atmosphere. And that performance, while it might make the experience feel more intense, more personal, more significant, it doesn't make the reading more accurate. Accuracy isn't about the reader's emotional display. It's about whether the information they provide actually matches your reality in specific, verifiable ways. So, if a reader is performing shock or physical reactions, if they're telling you how intense their experience of reading for you is, that's not validation. That's theater. And you need to look past it to assess whether actual content has value. What are they actually saying beneath the dramatic delivery? Strip away the performance and evaluate the substance, because here's what actually makes readings valuable: specificity that couldn't be guessed from general patterns, details that narrow the field significantly, information that demonstrates genuine access to something beyond cold reading or probability, actionable insight that helps you make better decisions, perspective that shifts how you see your situation in useful ways, questions that help you access your own knowing, honesty about limitations, acknowledgement of uncertainty, transparency about what can and can't be seen, what's probable versus what's guaranteed, not drama, not shock, not theatrical reactions designed to make you feel like something extraordinary is happening, um, just useful information delivered without unnecessary performance. Which kind of reading are you actually receiving? Assess based on content, not on delivery style, because I want to address what you might be hoping for. You probably want to be told something shocking, something that proves the reader has real sight, something so specific and unexpected that it validates the entire practice, and that hope it makes you vulnerable to performance, makes you interpret dramatic delivery as evidence of genuine ability, makes you confuse emotional impact with informational accuracy, but the two aren't the same. Someone can create intense emotional experience through skilled performance while providing zero actual insight, and someone can provide genuine, useful information in completely understated way that doesn't create any drama at all. So if you're seeking validation through being shocked, if you need floor-you-worthy revelations to believe in the reading, you're evaluating based on wrong criteria. You're prioritizing entertainment over utility. You're confusing impact with accuracy. What are you actually seeking? Truth or performance? Get clear on what you're here for. Because here's what often happens with dramatically framed readings. The setup is intense. The emotional display is powerful. The promise of shocking information creates anticipation, and then the actual content is fine. It's general enough to apply to many people. It's pattern recognition dressed in specific language. It's cold reading technique executed skillfully. But because you've been primed to expect something extraordinary, because you've been told you'll be floored, because the delivery has been so dramatic, you interpret ordinary information as extraordinary. You see generic patterns as specific insight. You credit the reader with seeing things they're actually just guessing at based on common human experiences. That's not the reading being accurate. That's you being susceptible to framing effects. Can you recognize when you're being primed versus when you're receiving genuine insight? This discernment protects you from manipulation. Because I also need to address the business model underneath this. Dramatic reactions create engagement. Shocked readers get more views, more shares, more followers. The algorithm rewards emotional intensity. So there's incentive to perform shock even when nothing particularly shocking is happening. Incentive to claim readings are floor you worthy even when they're just competently executed cold reading. It's not about deceiving you necessarily. It's about competing in attention economy where dramatic delivery wins over understated accuracy. But that competition, it's not serving you. It's serving the creator's need for engagement metrics. So when you consume content with dramatic framing, when you engage with readers who perform shock, recognize what's driving that performance, recognize the incentive structure, recognize that you're participating in business model, not just receiving spiritual guidance. Are you aware of the economic dynamics shaping what you're consuming? Understanding this helps you evaluate content more critically, Because here's what I really need you to hear. Real insight doesn't need dramatic packaging. It doesn't need emotional warnings. It doesn't need performance to make it significant. It just lands because it's true, because it's relevant, because it helps you see something you weren't seeing before. So if you're seeking genuine guidance, if you want information that actually helps you navigate your life, stop prioritizing dramatic delivery, stop being impressed by emotional performance, stop evaluating readings based on how shocked the reader claims to be. Start evaluating based on, does this information help me? Does it demonstrate genuine, specific knowing? Does it provide actionable insight? Does it respect my intelligence and autonomy? Those criteria identify valuable readings, not the dramatic ones, the useful ones. Can you shift your evaluation criteria? This determines whether you get helpful guidance or just entertaining performance. Because ultimately, here's the situation. Content promised you'll be floored, claimed the reader's stomach dropped, warned you about shocking information coming, and maybe what follows is genuinely insightful. Maybe it does provide specific, accurate information. Maybe it does help you in meaningful ways, but if it does, that value exists independent of the dramatic framing. The information would be useful whether or not it was delivered with emotional performance. So evaluate based on substance, not on style, not on how shocked the reader claims to be, not on how floored they tell you you'll be, based on, is this actually true? Is this actually helpful? Is this actually specific enough to demonstrate genuine sight? Those questions get you to truth. Drama just gets you to entertainment. And if you're here for entertainment, fine. Enjoy the show. But don't mistake it for genuine spiritual guidance. And if you're here for truth, for help, for actual insight, look past the performance, assess the content, demand substance over style, because you deserve guidance that respects your intelligence. That doesn't need theatrical packaging to be valuable. That provides real help without requiring dramatic delivery. That kind of guidance exists, but you have to be willing to look past the noise to find it. Will you? Or will you keep being impressed by emotional performance while missing the quiet truth that doesn't need drama to be real? Your choice. Choose wisely. Real insight whispers, performance shouts. Learn to hear the whisper even when the shouting is trying to drown it out. That's where actual wisdom lives.